Hello, hey, what's up? This is episode 20 of the Throwaway Days podcast. I'm Cody Jones, and this time we have on my man Keech. Keech is a rapper from Baltimore. He's been doing the indie rap grind forever. If you play shows anywhere in the country or even out of the country, you know who he is because he's toured through your town. It was awesome. Height reached out to me, wanted to do an interview to help promote his new release, Mind Moves the Mountain, and he actually came to Philly to meet up with me so we could get it done, and it was awesome. We recorded it at iAlive's house. iAlive, this is like the third episode he's helped out with and recorded, so that was cool, a huge help. I don't know, it's cool. Height, he's just like a well-known, respected dude within the scene that's just really adamant about being a touring artist. He was like the first dude I saw when I started going to shows that was like, he was like a one-man show, and I saw him and I was like, whoa, like this can be done. This dude's like hitting the road by himself, doing the damn thing. And that really stuck with me, and I've seen him countless times since then. Various cities and states, and I've just seen him all over, and it's cool. And I was pumped to be able to talk to him about it, and that's the interview that's coming up. But you know, I'm a selfish bastard, so obviously I gotta talk about myself a little bit before this interview gets started. What's up with me? Well, I'm a complete idiot. I didn't make it to Toronto because I don't know how to catch a flight, so that was dumb. And now it's like 90 some degrees in Philadelphia, and I don't have air conditioning in my car, and my main source of income is driving for Lyft and Uber. So I haven't been driving, so I'm like kind of struggling to find some work real quick. But whatever, I don't know, fuck it, it happens. I'm doing alright with the internet skateboards thing. Every time I feel like I'm gonna be flat broke, I'll sell a shirt or a board or something, which is tight. Much love to all the shops that support me. You know, TriStar in Cleveland, One Up in Pittsburgh, Skate 14 in Altoona, Overcast in Pittsburgh, Union, like north of Pittsburgh, Flat Bar in Carnegie, Plank Eye, Timber Skate Shop, Arc Skate Shop. Just a bunch of dudes and shops that are helping me out a lot right now just by carrying my stuff. So that's cool, and it's motivating, and I'm stoked about it. I got a show coming up Friday, June 23rd. I'm playing the Hellhole Store release show. That'll be at the safety meeting in West Philadelphia. That'll probably be the last hip-hop show at safety meeting because I guess their landlord wants to get them out of there so they can up the rent. I don't know. I don't really have too many other shows finalized just yet. I know iAlive and I are supposed to do the 4 to the Floor run, which is like 4 dates to Cincinnati and back so we can play Adjust Your Eyes Fest. But I don't know, I've just been like trying to stay so busy with everything except working and making money apparently that I don't know, everything's just starting to suffer just a little bit, so I'm kind of trying to step back and focus on some other things. I got a bunch of new songs I'm trying to wrap up and do as a release, and in return I haven't had time to book shows, so I guess that's why we don't have many solid dates for that yet, but hopefully we will. Shit'll come through. There's not really any Height songs spliced through this interview. We talk about one of his old bands that had like a pretty opportune time to play something, but I didn't just because, I don't know. But we'll end it with a new Height track off his new release at the end, and hopefully this comes out while he's still on tour, so you should go see him. I know today's Monday, June 10th, my nephew's birthday, and I think Height's still on the road for a few more days. I try to get these out Sunday night, but obviously it's Monday, so it's not gonna happen this week, or last week rather, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's me. Send me some music. I would love to listen to it. I'm gonna do a playlist episode at the end of the month. I got a Kid Dead interview next, and then I'll do just a little short, quick playlist episode at the end of the month after that. So if you got some music you want me to check out, you can submit it to thethrowawaydays@gmail.com. Send me that download code, dog. I want to check it out. I know Tumex always said on his radio show, if you got like your grandma spitting hot bars, send us her demo, her mixtape. We're all about it. Oh man, I'm just always rambling like a crazy person in my room, and I had to turn the air off to do this. I'm just sweating bullets right now. So I'm gonna just make this intro. I think this is only like my second take, and we're gonna stick with that one. All right, here's the Height interview. Peace. What other podcasts do you listen to, actually? Like all those other ones?
Oh, like of all podcasts?
Yeah.
I listen to Combat Jack. Do you ever listen to that?
No.
It's like, you like that?
I've heard it before, but I haven't listened to it a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the rap shit, right?
Yeah. It's just like, it's like an older kind of nerdy, like Haitian dude that's like been like a music industry executive or something for a long time. So and it's just him interviewing like rappers and stuff.
Oh, cool. Maybe I have seen that one, but it's like always pretty like well-known rappers.
Yeah. Even if they're not, sometimes I don't know just because they're not well known to me doesn't mean they're not well known, you know. But Noriega, have you guys checked out his podcast?
No.
Drink Champs.
My brothers love that shit. They're like always telling me, I'm just gonna jam it.
Yeah.
They love that Drink Champs.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to any of them though.
I was messing with the parking lot attendant at my wife's parents' spot. It was like right before I came down here last time.
Oh, alright, yeah.
Because I heard him like listening to Drink Champs on the job. I was like filling the thing out, and I was like Drink Champs. He was like, yeah.
That's cool.
That's funny.
How about you? What other ones do you listen to?
I listen to like a lot of like when Yoni Wolf was doing his a lot. I would check his out.
Is he doing it less now?
Seems like it, yeah. And then it's always like I try to just like there's so many, so I just try to only listen to like rappers that I know.
Yeah.
Like not personally, but the Cypher has a really good one.
What's that?
It's I don't even know the dude's name. Don might know, but it's just this dude that does like
Sean Sotero.
Yeah, these really great interviews with like everyone. I don't know. There's like a bunch of skateboard ones, a bunch of rap ones, and then I'll just have like the standard like This American Life and like what other ones like that? Some NPR ones. Those are my podcasts to get laid, you know? Like, oh girl, you like NPR? Did you hear? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I go through phases a lot where I'll be listening to like one nonstop, and then I'll like not listen to it for a while or something.
Yeah. Word. Height, are you originally from Baltimore?
Yeah, Baltimore County.
Okay.
So like suburbs. You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Were you started like rapping and performing in general like super young, like in high school still, right?
Yeah. I was trying to trace it back on the way up here in my mind, but like I started doing like writing and recording raps and stuff in like 6th grade.
Really?
And like, yeah.
What were you recording with then? Like what was your setup?
Well, I've since learned that this has been, from doing my podcast, I've learned this has been a lot of people's setups. Yeah. But at the time, it was like two tape decks and a little like 4-channel mixer that just had 4 like volume knobs. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like you like do like a pause tape and then that's your like beat or something, and then you play bass or something over that, and then you have like bass and drums, and then you keep adding to the different tapes. Yeah. Cool. So that was like the first way it went down, which like unfortunately like never, there's no like hidden gems or anything from back then. Yeah. It's not like, wow, I was really on to something, but you know, I was trying and doing my thing.
Yeah. That's cool. And then I know like your first like real group, was it called Wounds?
Yeah.
Wounds. When did that start?
That started in like 10th grade.
Oh wow.
Which was like, it sort of started because so we sort of like never stopped with like the cassette 4-track rap stuff. That was just like always going with me and Mickey Free and Shield.
Oh wow, holy shit. And, like, you were working with those dudes all the way back then too?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And like, so we never stopped that, but it kind of just was like, at some point we realized that it was just not good. And we were like, okay, this is not something to show people and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, we did a few different rock bands.
Okay.
And like, there was a moment where, we had one which I actually still think was really good. I would say if we had made it to the studio, there would be hidden gems.
Yeah.
Like, called Super Bass Quad.
Nice.
And there was like, do you remember the band Oxes?
No.
They were like, so Mickey Free's brother, Chris, he played drums with us. And it was kind of, that band was sort of like his vision, you know? And then he sort of like, and he was older, and I think at some point he realized like, okay, I have to do this vision with like people that can actually like
perform
leave.
and
Yeah. So he started this band called Oxes, which was like an incredible band and like a real influential band in some ways. But I remember him being like, it's like, we should just, our thing as a group, like we should just do this rap shit, like for real. Like go out and play shows and stuff. And like, I remember Shields and Mickey Free being like, you stole our band. But like, like me being like, that would rule, you know? Like, I'd be like, it would, like I wasn't sure like what it would be like to play a rap show or something. Yeah. But I was like, it felt like right and like something that would be really exciting. You know?
That's cool that like your first like introduction to like playing and making music was rap, and you like tried to steer and like do a rock thing for a while, and then you're like, no, this is rap shit.
Yeah, and it's weird because like rock was like compared to hip hop. I feel like when we were kids, like rock was so old.
Oh yeah, and like this is what Dad listened to.
Yeah, and I feel like I loved rock, but like I didn't really yet have like a real appreciation for like rock history. Like, like the bands that I was seeing at like an early age was a lot of like, I guess you'd call like post rock bands or like post punk or whatever, and like looking back, it's like I loved that stuff, but I didn't really understand what it was or like the context for it. Yeah. And like I just was on some weird shit where I like never even heard like the Beatles till I was like 25.
Yeah.
Or something.
I was kind of I was like a late bloomer to like the Beatles too. Yeah. But I feel like my thing was I was just like such a brat, and I thought everything was whack. I'm like, what? People like the Beatles? They must suck. Right. I'm like, I only listen to shit I found off Napster. Yeah. That nobody else has heard of.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like with rap, it's still new, but it was like back then it was like new enough that you could not know that much and still understand a bunch of the history. That's true. Because you were just there as it. You were kind of like watching it happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I felt like even as like a white like nerd, like I always felt somehow like more like I was a rapper than like this like rock. Just because you knew like a
bigger portion of the history, like in comparison. Yeah, like, I know 80% of rap history. You know,
right? From like watching like MTV Rap.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask about that. Like, I know some dudes that were a little bit older than me when I started rapping. They're like white dudes. They were like, man, when I started, like, we had it fucking tough. Like, you just, every white dude's a rapper now. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I still get made fun of for it, but okay. Yeah. But, like, what was that weird or, like, a hard thing for you? Or were you just, like, so in it that you're like, no, what? Of course I'm rapping.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is always a, you know... Like I think like in general no one wants to see a rapper. Yeah. Like regardless of race. Like it's like, oh, there's gonna be a rapper at this place, and then like, oh word, yeah, cool. I think like whiteness is just one of the things that can make it a little more
unappealing.
Yeah, like until you show and prove.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was always that way.
Yeah.
And I think like for me, like in Baltimore, like there was always like a super like Afrocentric side of Baltimore hip hop.
Yeah.
And like, which was like really like flourishing throughout the 90s.
Okay.
But like, I remember feeling like back when like information was less available and like you're more like before the internet, before everything was on the internet. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't even know where that was happening to be accepted by there or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were like I remember like trying really hard. I don't know if you remember like Lab Tech 1.
I don't know.
He's like a amazing MC. Like I feel like the most prominent Baltimore MC of all time in some ways. And he's still doing his thing. But like Chuck D called him the Sun Ra of rap, which I feel like is I would stand by that. You know? But like I remember hearing he was going to do a show, and this is just a funny like back in the day type thing. Like my man Chris called me and like left a message on my parents' machine about it, but then like didn't say in his excitement, he didn't say where it was happening.
Yeah.
He was just like, it's going down tonight. You gotta be. So I just like drove to like all these different venues.
Really?
Yeah, like, I spent like hours, and then I found it at like a college not far from like my parents' house, but like so I like wanted to be. I like wanted to be at least see what was up with that stuff, but it was like so much harder back then, you know, that it wasn't even like. I feel like in some ways I didn't come face to face with that.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay. So when did you start getting to play shows? If you were like recording since like 6th grade and then like getting like groups together around like 10th, right?
Yeah.
Like when did you guys start performing that you like were seeing actually like getting to be a part of the shows?
That would be 10th.
Oh, really?
Like 1998, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And like and it was the kind of thing like we kind of became the Wounds, our like 5-man group. We kind of became the thing that would play. We would get asked to play at a club called the Auto Bar.
Yeah.
Like when it was like the non-rock band would play. Yeah, like if a band that had like a keyboard would play.
Or like anything not like strings and what, like anything a little different than rock.
Yeah,
what you just said. And
yeah, exactly. And that was like, I don't know that, and that was like such a cool. That was such a cool.
That's
thing.
A bar, right? And you were playing there in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I've talked about this with grunge before, but like I feel like before 9/11, it seemed like that was okay.
Yeah.
Like you could just go to a bar and be like, "Oh, he's performing," or something like that.
I remember my like older friends' bands would like. I was in high school and they were like slightly out of it, but still not 21. They're like, "Yeah, we're playing the Smiling Moose." I'm like, my sister tells me about that place all the time. Sounds crazy, man. Be careful. But like, they're like, yeah, we got to go in and play, and then we had to leave. I'm like, that would never happen now.
Right, exactly.
But that's cool. So 10th grade, you're playing Auto Bar. Like, it's still not. It doesn't seem like you're getting on like rap shows though. Like anything that's just a little left field of rock is what you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, and it was kind of like working well. I mean, I guess like any like young like high school band, it's like, you know, is like as we started to have friends that were older, and we sort of already did because of Chris was like the old guy, relatively in the crew, and like, so it's like we definitely like had our own fan base, and like, and we were starting to like headline our own shows, and it would mostly be like, there was a band, which like. It kills me that this is not a more remembered band, but there's a band called Charm City Suicides, which was like kind of like a 13th floor elevators kind of band or something, but like like a 60s garage revival.
Yeah.
But that makes it sound terrible. But but they were ruled. But they were like our like main band that we would like co-headline bills with and stuff.
I remember at one point you were saying before, I don't forget where I heard this, but like, as opposed to like, I see all these rappers who just like, yo, I'm gonna get on this show, I'm gonna open for such and such artist, and like, I'm gonna blow up that way. And I feel like your approach was like, instead of like being like the little punk kid opener, you're like, we'll just throw our own shows. And you just said like, you and this other band were like co-headlining stuff.
Yeah.
Like, was that sort of like an approach you had?
Yeah. And you know, I feel like we did like an okay job with that, like while it lasted. You know? But like I can't say that like it sort of felt like, I think this happens with like all like young bands and like high school bands and stuff, is that it's like the time passes when like there's like a feeling where like it sort of feels like everyone's in the band for like a year or something, and then it kind of like that kind of trails off, and then you're just kind of like do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like whenever you mean just like everyone's hyped, they're all like, yeah, we're coming out to see the band,
right,
we're all part of this.
Yeah, so I feel like we did okay, like sort of like getting the most we could out of that.
Yeah,
but then it was kind of like where to go from there. We sort of didn't know or something.
What did you end up doing? Like, how did that all pan out?
Well, like right after high school, like a week after graduating from high school, we did a Wounds tour.
Okay, and, it's the first one.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and we had done, actually the first out of town show ever was a Manny show.
Oh man!
While we were still like much younger.
This is great.
And this is one reason I always have love for Manny. It was like the other show, they told us it was starting at 9, to get there at 9, but didn't tell us they meant 9 a.m. Which, I mean, I guess I should have checked, but like...
No, you shouldn't have like, what?
Like, and you know, he's like, yeah, load in at 9, show at 11, and then...
It was like some matinee or something?
Yeah. It was at that place, the Peach Pit.
I don't even know.
That was like I think an old Pittsburgh like punk place, but like they but yeah, I remember it being like, well, you can play there's this other guy that might let you play that like has this spot, and like I remember on the way over we were like, oh cool, this other guy might let us play, and like Chris was like, he's like, I've heard about this guy before. He's like, this isn't gonna go like as smooth as you guys think. And but like he was like so nice, and he was just like, we like told him this situation. He was like, 9 a.m. That's crazy, and like he was just like, we'll just play this show. And so
was it Millville Industrial Theater or whatever?
Yeah,
nice man.
And then but that was like earlier on. But like right after high school, we did a kind of real tour. You know? And we had put our album out recently, which I still like. People can check it out on Bandcamp if they want. It's like I put it up recently, but I still like stand by it. You know? Like,
what's the link for that? Just in case I forget later, for the Bandcamp link. Is it on the Hype?
Oh, you can check out Cold Rhymes Records.
Oh, cool.
Bandcamp.
Nice.
It'll be on there.
That's cool, dude. I don't think I would stand by. I definitely wouldn't stand by anything I made like that long ago. Like I don't even like.
Yeah, and I totally like. It's like mostly due to, I don't think anyone would mind me saying this, but it's mostly due to the beats that it stands up. I think like Shields had 4 beats on there, and I don't remember how it broke down, but like everyone that did beats, it was like when I re-uploaded, I was listening and I was like, damn, this is pretty tight. You know?
I mean, Shields did a lot of the production on Winterize the Game, right? Yeah, that's like incredible.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
When did that group kind of dissolve, and like was Height with Friends the next thing?
Well, it dissolved on the last day of the tour, which was like not in any dramatic way at all.
Yeah.
It was just like we were just having this discussion about like I was kind of like, so when do we go on the next tour? And like,
yeah,
it was kind of, you know, it's like any like small tour. It's like the shows are so like you have to really know like what you have to really know what you're in for, and like be prepared to like sort of like get something from nothing or something, and like so it kind of like dissolved on the like we just kind of had a discussion that led to like, I don't think this is gonna fly.
Like they probably had like false hopes of like I'm going on tour, man.
Right.
People don't come out and see me because I'm from out of town.
Yeah, and of course there's things like, I don't know, like I remember like our New York show was like, I think that was the first show, and that was like from a movie, like how tight it was.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like kind of like, I feel like there's no way we appreciated how tight it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, and the terrible shows like were kind of like, what the hell is this? Or so I don't know, but so and it's like, you know, like just because you made some beats and wrote some rhymes and stuff, it doesn't mean you desire to be in a 5-man traveling rap group the way that I did.
Yeah, know? That's true.
So from there, the next thing that happened was there was a group called Dog and Pony that was such a tight group. That was like the concept was it was like a dude DJing who later did music under the name Bar. I don't know if you ever heard any of that. It's like spoken word type stuff.
Okay.
But it was a dude DJing like you would expect like Stretch Armstrong to DJ. He was doing these like it would be like the Lord Finesse instrumentals and like scratching and stuff, and a dude freestyling who was like, his thing was to do no rhymes ever. And if he ever accidentally rhymed, they would cut to the next track. But,
really?
Yeah. I was like such a huge fan, and like that was like one of those things when they would play in Baltimore, we would open up, you know.
Yeah.
And they asked me to go on tour, and like just
you as you, not like the group.
Well, be in their group, but for some reason I could rhyme. I was like sort of like the intermission where like it would be like a normal song, you know.
Yeah.
And that was also with another awesome group called Deep Throats, who haven't been around for years, but they just re-released their record. But like but that was my first time like being on my own, you know? And I was already working on a solo album.
Okay.
So then like being on that tour, I played them some of the solo stuff, and they had a label at the time, and they were like, "Oh, we'll put out your solo record." Mm-hmm. So that's how that happened.
Nice. Yeah, so I wanted to ask, you're like doing these shows in like the early 2000s. Like, how did you get shows back then? Like, I feel like it was easy for me because I was just always on the internet. But like, what were the resources you used to even book those shows?
Well, the band Oxes that I had talked to, that I talked about, they had really helped me out. And it was all just like, I remember them giving me like a placemat with like a bunch of like phone numbers written on the back of it.
That's pretty awesome.
Like, so it was like so much more about the phone at that point. And I don't know, maybe in a way it seemed like it actually used to be easier. Because I feel like the fact that you had to do it over the phone and like there were less people doing everything.
Yeah.
So I remember being like so like nervous, and then just starting to call people, and they were like, June 10th? Sounds good. And like, you know, like that. I don't know. It wasn't that easy, but it sort
I know what you mean.
Felt like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, there was like definitely not like a lot of rappers like like willing to like participate in the like DIY system.
Yeah,
like I feel like it was less. I don't know, like I remember I used to do you remember that magazine called Blaze magazine? No. It was like a thing like Source or XXL, but it didn't like last long. But they had a thing that would be like it would be like local spotlight, and it would be like here's who's in doing stuff in like St. Louis or something. Yeah. And it would be like these guys that were like so obscure. Mm-hmm. And I remember like I would like try to like contact dudes like that and be like, hey, we're playing in St. Louis on this day, and it would kind of just be like, play with you for no money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there wasn't like the DIY, like the rap mentality. It wasn't very DIY.
Yeah, not at all. And it was more like, I think at that time it was more like, I think maybe there was more money for certain people. Yeah. Like I think on a local level it was more possible to be like a local success or something. So it'd be like I think there was more people that would be like, why would I want to know some dudes in Baltimore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like there was a lot of playing with like indie rock bands and stuff like that, and then also a lot of like, this is like I feel like a forgotten era, but like say like the first time I toured with Grand Buffet, also in 2000, that was like we would play with like rap rock bands and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
which was like sometimes a drag, you know.
Yeah, but
like so it kind of was like I feel like it was real like say like touring with Grand Buffet. It's like they were so universally appealing. Yeah. That it didn't really matter to them. Okay. Like they could play for like some rap rock dudes or like a metal cover band or like anything, and just like get fans. Yeah. At the end of the night, you know what I mean? But for me, I felt a little more like stressed out about the whole thing. At times, you know.
Yeah, it's tough. Like sometimes walking into like a mixed bill, like a lot of my friends in Pittsburgh play like punk shows. They're like, you want to play this punk show? And like I show up and it like just smells like armpit. Everybody's got like a jean vest or like a leather vest with like studs on it. I'm like, cool. I'm going to rap here. This is right. I don't know how this will go. So you said like after your first tour, like a lot of guys had like, or like you kind of realized like some of them didn't. They're like, oh, I don't want to be in this like touring group. You know, that's not a thing everybody has, but that's definitely something you have, you know? Yeah. Like since 2000, you've been avidly touring pretty much, right? Yeah. That's crazy. Like, I know you've done like probably countless like U.S. tours, but like where all have you gotten to go like through rap music?
I mean, the craziest one was that, I mean, it's mostly been all U.S. Yeah. You know, but like we did a tour that went from like Moscow to France and that was wow. That was with P.T. Burnham. Okay. Know? And that was like totally a wild experience.
Yeah, tell me about that. When was this too?
That was like 2011. But like Homeless. Mm-hmm. Like he had toured over there one time. Okay. And like in like Eastern Europe and Russia, and then he brought P.T. Burnham over there. Okay. And then P.T. Burnham was invited back and brought me over there. Okay. So, and that was such a wild experience. It was kind of like, I felt like playing, like say like playing in like France or Germany kind of felt like exactly like playing like a dumb show in the U.S. I guess it just, I don't know, but like
just a better backdrop.
Yeah, exactly. but that's not true. Saint Etienne's was an awesome show, but now I'm throwing myself off thinking about all the cool shows we did play there. But some of the shows were cool, some were just whatever. But like in playing in Russia and Ukraine and stuff, it was like I was just like so impressed by like every single person. Like in a way, like I was like
every performer. What do you mean?
Definitely performers, but also just like, oh, like the sound guy is like taking this as seriously as if it was like Metallica, or you know, and playing, and like the audience is like I think there definitely was a level of like, oh, these people came from like another continent, so like let's show extra love maybe.
Yeah.
But I felt like generally it was just like, it was like, oh, humans are like performing, like let's check it out. And
that's
like,
crazy.
And I don't know, I feel like that's something like we all like, we've all experienced like the reverse enough enough times to be like, to appreciate it when it's like,
yeah,
oh, this is what's happening, you know.
I know you said you played somewhere over there before, and like they didn't perform often, you know. And I know you said like they just stay and write and like hone their skills like in the studio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why they're so much more appreciative like whenever there was a live performance, because it's not like here where you can see two bars or two shows at the same bar in a night or something?
Totally. And it's like, I mean, playing in like Eastern Ukraine, it was like so wild to see like I remember driving there and being like, it's like there were so many potholes that if there was that the road was just a pothole, and then if there was road, like that would fuck up your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like, oh, people are just basically like trapped here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like not like, I mean, they could hypothetically leave, but it's not like here where it's like it's nothing to go to Philly from Baltimore or something.
Yeah.
You know, and like and also like I think it's kind of wild with that, like I think we did a show in what is now the like annexed new part of Russia, you know, like like in like Crimea, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like wild to be like to be there and be like, oh, the dynamic of all this is like completely foreign to me, and then like to see that happen like in the news and stuff and be like, oh, it's even like wilder than I ever imagined.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Especially, I don't even know what to say. You've done like a decent amount of touring through like Canada though, right?
Yeah. That's another tour, like, cause I always like, cause Grand Buffet took me and Mickey on a Canadian tour in like 2004, and that's always been like, I've stayed in touch with certain people and done like a few Canadian shows, like if I'm doing a tour that goes north anyway, you know, but then there was the whole, I don't know if you ever peeped the like Out for a Rip stuff, like the Shark Tank track.
Oh, is that B Rich's like anthem for
right
yeah,
that was an insane wild success where it was like, it went the Canadian version of Gold, like from like people buying that song, and to my surprise, like people would just like, there's all this interest in that song in like 2013, and like to my surprise, people buying like both of the albums too, you know? And like
both the Shark Tank albums.
That's my group, Shark Tank. And but so that led to like B Rich having his own like side career as this like Canadian centric MC or something. Yeah. And that was like, that's some of my favorite touring experience ever, cuz it's like,
oh, you've gone and toured Canada with B
him,
Rich as like, once he's just went gold up there pretty much.
Yeah. And that's like such a cool experience because like I feel like he got to play successful shows in towns where like shows just don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like Canadian like rednecks were like the audience basically, respectfully, you know, and it was just like so cool to see, like I really felt like I was in a lot of spots. Like I've always like looked at like maps of Canada and been like, what the fuck is that? Like it was just like these like far out remote zones, and I feel like we actually like got to go to a whole bunch of them and like actually have it like work out financially and stuff, which is just like that's one of my favorite tours.
That's awesome. You know? What is crossing the border like on the tour? Like how does all that work? Is that some sticky business?
Well, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it, but it can be anything, anytime, you know, and it's definitely been sticky a few times. And like, there was one time, actually that first tour with Grand Buffet, that was like, it was like, we thought it was going to be on some like, the like gloves come out and like the anal probe goes down or something. Like, like they were like really on some like, you guys are terrorists.
To get to Canada or to get back?
To get back.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's like we are citizens.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Right.
Word. Have you never drank?
I do drink. Like I like. I'm not like straight edge, but I basically just almost never do.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
so like all these tour experience and too, you're just like experiencing everything sober.
Basically. Yeah. Like,
that's cool.
I got massively drunk after one show with Grunge in Florida one time.
I'd imagine it'd be like hard not to, like so many days in a row.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I just kind of like don't like it. Like it's not like I wish I had like discipline to be like, I'm not eating at McDonald's today. Like, but I don't. But like, like I feel like with drinking, it just like doesn't even occur to me.
That's cool. That's cool too. I feel like I remember I was like getting ready for a tour, and one of my friends that I skate with like back home was like, "Oh, that's sick, man. Go to all these cities and like get blasted." I'm like, "What?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, I want to go and rap." He's like, "Yeah, but you're gonna get blasted every night, right?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like that's not why. Like I can get blasted here with you, and I do, and like it sucks,
right?
But I do it.
Right.
But it would just be, I don't know. That's rad that it's just like not your thing, and then like I feel like it's just like made the touring focused on the right part of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I sort of feel like if I was a big drinker and was drinking on these tours, like I would maybe not have been able to do it for as long or get as much out of it or something.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Because I feel like it's hard anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like hard on your mind and your body, and like you don't get enough sleep, and like if it ended and it was like, wow, I spent X amount of money on drinks, and like I'm like just
wasted
like,
hours and
and I'm just like kind of torn up. I don't know. I feel like that would be hard to deal with, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like since I've been seeing you perform in Pittsburgh, actually, I think like the first time I saw you, it was like before I really like started playing shows. And I was just like, I would find all these like small scale shows because again, I'm like, oh, anything that's cool sucks, you know? So I'm like, I'm going to Garfield Artworks, I'm seeing like what rappers are coming through here. And like, it was you and like a tape deck. And I was like, holy shit, you can do this like by yourself and just do that, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the shit. And then like every time after that, I would see you and you would like add more. You would lug your own PA around. You would like add members. Like you evolved from height to height with friends.
Yeah.
Tell me about all that, like how that all came to be and whatever else.
Well, let me think. I'm trying to think, because I guess what would that be like? Probably like 2005 or something.
Yeah,
like
probably like maybe even like 06, because that's when I graduated high school.
Yeah, like I guess I was always like messing around with other stuff, like I always had, and like I always had an idea of like trying to make things into more of a group or have more of like a performance aspect or something, but like I don't know, I guess what ended up happening is it would just be different every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I never arrived on something where I'm like, this is my act now or something, which I guess is good.
Yeah.
You know? Like but yeah, like involving different people in the mix in a big way, I think probably started around then.
Okay.
And you know, there was a tour in 2005 where it was Mickey Free, Jones, and P.T. Burnham, and that was P.T.'s first tour ever, and that was like real cool experience for all of us. But that was kind of like the first time I was like, okay, Jones is my DJ, and then Mickey gets on, and PT gets on, and like yeah, it became, I guess as the years went on, it became more of a like conscious effort to present it as a group, like calling it Hype with Friends and stuff like that, and then adding live instruments and stuff, which was like something I tried to do like real like cautiously. Yeah,
like, it's a fine line sometimes.
Yeah. So I feel like
here you are dissing rap rock 10 minutes ago, and now you're talking about adding live instruments. Get this guy out of here.
I'll see myself out.
No, that's cool, and I feel like your shows, like, it was always more of a performance, and like how earlier it was like nobody wants to see a rapper, but if you're like throwing people up there, even just like they're singing and like shaking like an egg shaker or whatever, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It like added a lot.
Yeah, and I always thought, like, I don't know, do either of you guys remember a group called Nuclear Power Pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always loved them, and I always felt like it was like kind of like their performance, like you know, they had the wild costumes, and the backup singers, and the crazy lights, and like the costumes activated with, or like change colors with the black lights and like whatever, and like I just always thought it was cool to be like, yeah, you can not do any of that stuff, but you can also do all of it. Like, I don't know, like I've always felt like it might leave some like rock bands being like, well, why didn't we do any of that cool shit? Or is it, you know what I mean? And like I feel like that like definitely excited me to be like, okay, even though it's just this like small show, like let's make it more of like what happens at like a concert or something, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be one thing if you did that and then like you're running through like some DIY venues like terrible sound system, but like so often you like lugged your own PA around to like just make sure everything bumped. Yeah,
which it was like one of the best investments ever, I feel.
Really?
Like. Yeah,
I was gonna ask about that, and like just loading it in and out every night. Like the cool thing about being a rapper is not having gear, and then like here you are making it hard on yourself. Right.
Yeah, it definitely like the loading of gear up steps definitely is like more annoying to me with every like passing day, but like I don't know, it's just like I feel like when you're actually doing it, you're just like, okay, let's go, but then like there's like moments where I'm like, how many days this like year have I just been like loading gear up steps? But all that said, it's like, I mean, particularly with like the PA, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it goes back to, like I feel like with like Bambaataa and Kool Herc and stuff, like they had the plan right. They were like our performance is our PA, sort of. Like, and I feel like it's so weird that rap got to be the reverse of that, where like gear is almost frowned upon.
Yeah,
and it's almost
for sure.
like it's more just like I always hated with rap how it's like part of being a good rapper is just like having a cool hat and like a cool jacket and like looking cool and like just being someone and it's like yeah, what it sounds like is whatever you know
Yeah.
I don't know.
Word. Tell me about Cold Rhymes, or is it Cold Rhymes or Cold Rhyme Records?
Cold Rhymes.
Cold Rhymes, because you got more than one. It's like, hey, our whole label, we got one Cold Rhyme. No, that's a good point. I guess I didn't think that one through. I know before that was like a thing that you would slap on the back of your releases.
Yeah.
And then what is it like? I think I read on some blog that you're like, you know what? No one's really gonna like scoop me up and like show me how to do all this, and you're kind of like finally kicking that into gear more.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, I sort of had this moment where I realized there was like something in my head that was like, someone will come along and show me what to do. And like even though you have to be like, no, that's not what's up. Like, I'm doing my thing. I feel like there was still like part of me that was like holding back from like a certain level of like commitment or like organization or something. Like, so yeah, it's like a matter of like just putting out records and like each one is going to be different, you know, like as of putting out this new album, like that's kind of the first release with like you said, the name's been around forever, but it's like the first release as a concerted effort to be like, this is this label or something.
Yeah, I feel like before it was just there as like a placeholder.
Exactly.
So people would see it and be like, oh, he's on a label?
Yeah,
like, cool,
exactly.
I'll pay attention to this guy.
Exactly.
I know that trick. That's cool. Like, what are your other plans for like the label? Or is it just going to be like your thing, or are you going to like...
No. Well, it's like, so the first things mostly are going to be like collaborations that I'm doing, or like the next release will be the next Shark Tank album.
Okay,
so,
cool. And
that's going to be the first one that's produced entirely by me. So it's
sick.
Like, it's like I'm like, and it's kind of like more stuff like that. Like we got the Secret Eye Alive guest appearance on this episode. My man's chilling over here.
Hold the boards in.
But like we're working on some stuff.
Yeah.
Me and Kate Ferenz are working on some stuff, and each thing's going to be a little different. But I'm sort of starting with things like I'm starting with things where if this is like a financial bloodbath, like it's okay because I like want to do all these things anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there was more money involved, I would like to do other stuff as well.
Like other people's stuff, you mean?
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I've talked to people that are like I've talked to people who I want to re-release some of their stuff or something like that, but it's like sort of like all that is needed to do that is money, and I just don't have the money. You know, or like there's people like say like I'm like for some of these releases I'm going to be collaborating with Brandon Lackey, who's like a Baltimore engineer.
Okay.
And like for instance, like if it works out to one of the records I'm going to be doing is Trauma Laverne, which is P.T. Burnham's new project. But like that's like Brandon is doing it in his studio, and it's like can't really offer the same for like a band in like Seattle or something. You know
like
what I mean?
we're gonna fly you out.
Right, exactly. So we're starting.
We're gonna sell 50 records.
Yeah, starting with these intimate kind of collaborations, and then seeing how it evolves from there. You know.
Awesome. So, but Mine Moves the Mountain is the first official release?
Well, I don't know if I want to say that, but because it's Cold Rhymes 008.
Oh, okay.
But still, yeah, it's like, it's my first time, like I was saying to you earlier, like making more of a concerted effort to do like my own little organization and like have like a timeline and like try to get these reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems like the press you've gotten for it so far is like pretty good. Like, I don't check Facebook. I try not to check Facebook that often. Yeah. But when I do, if I'm like scrolling through, I'll see like you have like a new write up on like Stereo Gum or whatever else will be like streaming it.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier. It's just kind of cool how like we're a little older now, and all our friends are older that we've been doing music with, and like everybody, we all have like our own platforms and stuff that you're kind of like plugging into.
Right.
I don't know how I can phrase that into a question.
No, I know what you mean though. It's, and I also think, like we were talking earlier about rap being newer. It's like now I feel like it's old enough that there's like enough different people that are looking for something different.
Yeah.
That like my like strand of rap. It's like I feel like I'm starting to find people that will consider it for what it is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when I would get reviews and stuff when I was younger, it'd be like, well, I've been listening to Jay-Z a lot, and like this guy's cool, but he's not like Jay-Z. I wish he would have done it more like Jay-Z. Or
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like now it's like more people that are like down to just be like, okay, there are these different like branches of rap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask like, so you said like your tours with like Grand Buffet, you guys would play with like anyone, and I feel like for your sound that probably helped a lot. But I don't know what you're doing back then, but like now I feel like if you're on like a super like rappy rap bill, cats would be like, this isn't rap, man.
Yeah.
Like, does that happen to you? You're like, dog, I've been doing this for 17 years. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, sometimes I do little things like you know, I did the 3 like old school albums where it's just
one was like a New York, right?
Yeah. And sometimes I do stuff where like I'll throw in one of those just to be like, okay, it is technically rap or something.
Like, tell me this isn't rap.
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with Jackson from Grand Buffet about that recently, where it's like we were just talking about the discomfort of like a rap show sometimes. Like when it's like super hyper hip hop, and like how he was bringing up the fact that it's probably worse if you're anything except a straight man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Like we had just played a show, one of the round robin things with like drawing a blank on their name, but a tight 2-piece female squad, but like, and it was kind of like the super hip hop crowd.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like he was saying like it's probably just like doubly uncomfortable for them.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I've just learned to like live with it and like try to find like common ground.
Yeah.
While you're there, you know.
That's cool. This is a very positive outlook. Here I am trying to like wage a war on anyone I can. I'm like, tell me it's not rap. Fuck you. Like, let's battle. Let's battle. My battle actually sucks, but I'm gonna write you a poem, dog. You know.
I learned my lesson actually on doing that.
Yeah.
Which was like, I'm sure no one remembers this but me, but like, I wrote a rhyme that was just like, basically like fuck normal rap, like fuck like. I definitely wasn't dissing anybody by name, but kind of just like, it was just about like fuck playing these shows where like every dude just sounds like Aesop Rock and stuff like that, and like, I did it.
Aesop Rick hit you up on Twitter. It's like, yo, dude.
No, but it was like I completely like spaced on that. It was like, you remember that site undergroundhiphop.com?
Yeah.
It was like that guy was like letting us stay at his house and was like, and it was this club in Boston. We were playing with that band Oxes.
Yeah.
And he was setting up a Cannibal Ox or one of those groups, like, or no, Mr. Liff show in the other room of the same club. And I feel like I was basically like,
while you're just like dissing like deaf jokes or whatever.
Right. Like, yeah, like dissing. And the thing is, I wasn't dissing deaf jokes as much as like local imitations of, you know,
right? Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably who was on his whole bill. Like, it was like, so that was kind of a moment where it made me realize like, oh, you gain nothing by telling assholes to come at you.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and you just it might alienate like good people that are trying to like, help you. You know.
So you've always had like a very distinct sound, I guess. Obviously, yeah. But like, is that like something you like strive to do now that I think about it, or you're like, I can't sound like I like Aesop Rock, but I don't want to sound like him, or was it like you're like, this is just how my art comes out, or you're like trying to do something a bit different?
Well, I had like when I started, I had a pretty extreme case of like sounding like Ghostface.
Oh my god, this is awesome! I want to hear this.
I'll play it just for you.
Okay, thanks, man.
But like, and I feel like that actually kind of like continued into like my first solo album and stuff.
Okay,
like in not in a horrible way, but just like in a not great way.
Yeah. And
like, I feel like I had a thing where that just went away.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, I was just focused on like, this is how you rap. Ghostface is my favorite rapper. This is what my favorite rap
worked out for him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then it went away, and at first it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, what is my voice?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like, for me, like a real positive change was getting super into folk music, and then being like, well, what can I do with my voice that's like how can I structure a song?
Yeah.
That would be like, that would imitate this folk song instead of a rap song or something. And then I feel like by that, your voice just naturally mutates to fit this like new idea you have or something.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like I wasn't like trying to like do this like 12-bar blues with like the Ghostface flow. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool. I guess that makes sense. Like that totally makes sense that you would be like super into folk. Are you still?
Yeah.
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 Cool. So what are like the plans with the album? I know you've been like doing like the press thing pretty hard. Do you still think you're like going to get out and tour it?
Yeah.
Just as hard too, or?
Yeah. I'm going to do like 4 runs. Like the first one's coming up soon. It's coming up in June.
Okay.
So it's going to be like Northeast, Midwest, then like more like the southern part of the Midwest, and then one that's like just Southeast.
Okay. Cool. Tell me about Height Zone World. I know you said you did a podcast like way back in the day too.
Yeah.
Like before Mark Maron was all up in your business. Like, what's up?
Do you know a guy in Pittsburgh named Dave Chacan?
No.
Or Dave Mansueto?
That sounds familiar, but not personally.
Like, so they started a podcast thing called Lipson in like 2006. That was like the host or whatever.
Yeah, Libsyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
But like,
you think they'll hook me up? I'm like, yo, dude, so I'm from Pittsburgh too.
Well, no, because they are, I think, out of the picture to some degree. But or like they sold the company.
Yeah.
You know? But like, it was funny. It was like in 2005, they told me about it, And I think I was so on my like, you know, like I always have this feeling like I'm not in on the ground floor, or like I have this feeling like people tell me about ideas.
Yeah.
And by the time they tell me about them, I'm like, it's already too late.
Yeah.
Like there's already like 1,000 people trying that or something. But they were like, we're doing this podcasting thing. And I feel like I did my first episode like that day. And I was just like, I'm on it. And then like it was kind of weird because I think it could have been like cool if I had like known what I was doing more, but like I think the reason I wanted to do it was more that it was like this new thing.
Yeah, you want to be like, yeah, I did that. What's up?
Yeah, or just like be like, if I stay on top of it, it'll be like, in 5 years it'll be like something, or I don't know, and like so I did it for a long time, and I think it was probably the kind of thing where like probably more people were listening than I thought.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like I didn't, like if I ever did look at how many listeners there were, I didn't like realize what would be like a big number of listeners.
Yeah, like what's actually like good. You're like, oh wow, this many people go out of their way to listen to this. Like,
yeah. I feel like I didn't really think about it, and more importantly, I didn't listen to any podcasts. so I didn't know like what I was going for or what I thought was cool or whatever, and you know, and so like I like did it for so I did this mainly music podcast with some interviews for like years and years, and it kind of like then it kind of trailed off, and then like I picked it up again with the Height Zone World.
Okay, how was like? I know for me, like these are like cool, and I just really like seeing like the story of people's like how it started and whatever else. Like, what have you like learned? Like, what keeps your fire lit doing these podcasts?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm sort of like struggling with it at the moment, and I feel like that's okay to admit.
Yeah.
Like, I like, and this hopefully. The guy that hosts our podcast will not hear me say this, but I'm more of a fan of this podcast than my podcast.
Oh man!
But sorry, Russ. But like, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'm at a weird point where I'm like, sort of gone through the people that I know. Yeah. And I feel like those are just different. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like have any of the ones you've done been people you don't know at all?
Not yet, really, no. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like taking that step's going to be hard. It's like, wow, I'm really going to have to like actually prepare for like in a different way where it's like, I don't know, by the time this comes out, the Race Strife episode that I did like last week or whatever will have aired. Yeah. And it's like, I know Ray so well, and I know like all the struggles he's been going through, and like, you know, I'm like, dude, and he's like recently just turned everything around. I just really want to hear about it. But I'm like, some random, like maybe a big time rapper, whoever, isn't going to want to like open up to me, you know? So I'm like, this might be weird if I ever like get to that level.
But I think the thing is that like you can. And for one thing, I think that level is not as far away as it might seem. Yeah. Like, I don't know, but I think part of it is just you being prepared for it. Like, that's what I'm struggling with. Like, okay. Like I'm doing it at my house now, mostly, and it's like, for an example, I have a mutual friend with Chuck D. Mm-hmm. And like he's been like, you gotta have Chuck D on the podcast, and I'm like I don't think it would happen, and he's like it could. It's just when they play like at like Rams Head Live in Baltimore or something, just like I'll hit him up about like getting there an hour early or something. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm like ready for like Chuck D to see my like whack like house and
you know I know what you mean.
Yeah, like
your home studio and stuff like that. Not that there's like, it was cool, I was there, I was into it, but it's like you want to put on this like rent out someone's studio for a day. Be like, yeah, I do all my episodes here. Like,
yeah, or
my real studio is shut down for the week, getting it exterminated.
Yeah, and like I just don't know, how am I trying to put it? Like I think the interview would be good, but say, I was saying earlier, I like the Combat Jack podcast.
Yeah. I
don't think it would be as good as the people that do know Chuck D and like have all these stories and stuff. And I'm just at a point where I'm like, why am I doing this? Like I'm like, what do I want to get from, say, that hypothetical experience, Yeah. So I don't know. But it's cool. I have learned a lot. And and it's like, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun, definitely.
Yeah. I think it's cool, like, ones on our level. I think yours is, like, definitely more known than mine. But, like, it's just, like, giving a platform. Like, whenever I started, like, the Throwaway Days as a zine, like, I didn't see, like, a lot of people really, like, covering these, like, small-scale underground artists. I'm like, oh, like, it's cool to, like, get these guys exposure, too. And, like, they're interesting and whatever else. Yeah. And, like, I like it. But I don't know.
Well, that's one of the cool things. Like I was saying to iLive before. Like, I feel like the stuff that you cover, it's kind of like this might be an inside reference, but like every person that John Bachman brings to Baltimore, you end up covering in the it's like this one interesting sub
I know what you mean,
super subgenre. And it's like, I guess for me, like, when I was saying earlier, being like bummed about these rap rock bands and stuff, I feel like that's kind of like what wasn't around in my view, like before, was like these like nuanced different scenes. And like, like say like Ray Strife and the different like Trenton dudes, they're all like their own like movement. They're their own little like revolution or something in like putting out rap or something. And I don't know, I really dig like that being like documented,
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. Well, we've been here for a little bit. I know it's like, we obviously won't use all of this.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could end it on a slightly higher note than like you being somewhat bummed on podcasts. Sorry, Russ, what was his name?
Russ.
Yeah, I don't know. So you got the tour coming up, a couple tours.
Yeah. And I think
the new record, where can people hear it? Like, what all? I don't know.
Well, yeah, the new album is on iTunes and all that stuff. And, but like Bandcamp is the main way I'm like selling these physical copies and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm real proud of it. It's like,
it's awesome. And this is. Did you produce everything on this one?
Yeah.
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 And you're like relatively new to producing too.
Yeah, it's like this is like, I feel like in the past, things that have been produced by me have been more likely to be like stuff that like started from like guitars or something, and then it's kind of like made backwards into a beat. But but like the past like 2 years or so, I've been more of like a sample. I feel like as a sample based guy, I've sort of like found my style.
It has like a very consistent style through it, man. It's awesome. Man. And there's like an awesome groove that's kind of like maintained through like other outside produced tight stuff, I feel like, because like, I don't know, I feel like every beat you've been on like really knocks in like some way or another.
Tight.
And then like, it's obviously like a different style. Like these are the hype produced ones, but like it's still pretty slamming.
Oh, thanks, man.
But word, so sorry. Bandcamp, what was it?
Oh, yeah. Cold Rhymes
Records.
Bandcamp.
Cool, man. Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for making this work. And,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Let's eat these pizzas.
Yeah, let's eat some pizza, dude. Hell yeah.
land sinking. Heard a broke down beat in a lonesome valley. Dead on my feet. I'm a car on fire. We're a torn up town. Spirits in the trees that'll shake the ground. Mine moves the mountain. He won't retreat. Mine moves the mountain. Don't need defeat. Roll through the cold till you got the chills. Push through the snows. Push through the hills. When the sun goes down, gotta set the sight. Pass all the noise to the house of lights. Blue lights, mine moves the mountain. He won't retreat. Mine moves the mountain. Don't need defeat. Mine moves the mountain. He won't retreat. Mine moves the mountain. Don't need defeat. In the darkest depths, heard secret songs on pins and needles, trying to right these wrongs. We can make this work to the last sun ray. We can make this work if it takes all day. Mine moves the mountain. He won't retreat. Mine moves the mountain.